Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Anastasia. Welcome everybody. Today I would like to do something different. Instead of a balloon setup, I will be doing a prep for a balloon setup. So today I will be making a DIY. I will be teaching you how I make and show you how I make all of my extra elements in my video, and then we'll use today's DIY in my next video, kind of like 2 in 1. Today's part 1, next week will be part 2. I hope I didn't confuse you. I hope it all makes sense. Everything will be linked and listed in the description under this video. Don't forget about my Amazon storefront, where I list all of my products, newly purchased products that I use for my videos, and old products are there as well. I will leave a link in the description under this video as well. Without any further ado, let's go. Before we'll start this DIY, let me show you what we are DIYing today, right? So we are DIYing these 2 types of palm leaves out of crafting paper. Why I want to do that? Because buying leaves in this size and buying leaves in general, palm leaves, is very expensive. And for the things that I want to create, I need a lot of leaves, and I'll need a lot of money, which I am not ready to spend that much money on just leaves, and it's not going to be used in every single setup. So I decided to save myself some money and create them out of paper. It was very easy, a little bit time consuming, not too bad, but look how pretty. And then we can spray paint them in every possible color and use them in so many ways. You can also leave them in this color and use them around the house with your pampas grass, maybe with some flowers, insert them into vases, and they will serve you as a home element in your home decor. First things first, let's go through all of our supplies that we will need to construct our paper leaves. First things first, we will need yarn, pen or pencil. I like to use a pencil better, because if you mark something and you don't like it, you can erase it with an eraser and you're good to go. Then we'll need some wooden dowels, high or low temperature glue gun. I have my high temperature glue gun, and I have some plates underneath to rest my hot glue gun on. I am using a 24-inch metal ruler. And last but not least, our crafting wrapping brown paper. I got my paper and yarn, Hobby Lobby, so as wooden dowels. I will find all the links and I will leave it in the description under this video. Check it out. So without any further ado, let's jump into this. When I was creating my leaves, I had no measurements whatsoever. I was just eyeing everything and going for it. So today I will try to give you approximate measurements, so it will be a little bit easier to create your first leaf, and then you can play around with measurements, create your leaves wider or even longer or even smaller. It's up to you. I am using this piece of paper. Don't mind this crease. You don't need this crease. I had to use this piece of paper because the roll that I had here, there was not a lot of paper left over after my leaves. So I had to use a wider piece of paper that I had put aside and prepped for something else. So don't mind this. So obviously I cut off a piece of paper from the roll of paper that I had, and I am measuring on this piece of paper 23.5 inches right on the side, on your folded side. The width of this paper is about 20 inches wide. Now taking our pencil and starting from that 23.5 mark and drawing a half a circle kind of line and going to the very corner of your papers. That many lines, I just made a mistake. So these 2 lines I don't need, I won't be using, and I'll be using this third one. The pointier you make your line and sharper, the pointier you will have your leaf at the very top. So this is good. Now let's grab our scissors and cut this out. When you're going to be cutting out this shape, hold your papers down with your hand because layers can move and your cut won't be as precise as you want it to be. Make sure the middle of your leaf is nicely creased because you will need this crease as a guide for the rest of your folds. Now I am folding my leaf in half, grabbing my metal ruler and putting right here in the middle. This is why I love 24-inch rulers and 23.5 leaf, because your ruler is a little bit longer than a leaf and it will be much easier for you to make a fold. So holding my ruler down with my fingers pretty tightly, grabbing that layer and folding over my ruler. Once I did that, make another crease as close as possible to the ruler. Take out your ruler and fold again, just like that. You can make your crease even sharper. Another fold, ruler on top, and fold over the ruler. And keep doing until you'll be done with the side. Also, using a ruler will ensure that I will get even folds all around the leaf. And this ruler is about like an inch wide right there. So I am having inch wide folds. One side is done. Now flipping and repeating the same process with my other side. Only this time I am not using a ruler. You can absolutely keep using your ruler. I am just folding and guiding myself from those previous folds that I made from my first side. We have our folds. They look pretty good, pretty much even. They're not 100% the same, but I am happy with them. Now we need to pull our folds apart a little bit to make this leaf a little bit wider. I need to find the middle, so I am flipping my leaf. And this is my middle fold. Grabbing our wooden dowel and putting like a third of a dowel into my leaf, maybe a little bit more. Grabbing my high temperature glue gun and putting glue on the paper and also on the dowel. Lifting, putting more, so with glue everywhere, and gluing these two parts together. Looks great. Now we need to glue the folds together. So I'm putting glue just on one side of the paper, working pretty quickly because it dries pretty fast, and gluing everything together. Hold until it will completely dry. Once the side is dry, flip your leaf and glue the other side of your folds. Next will be our yarn, so I'm cutting a pretty long piece. The reason why we need yarn is to polish the bottom of our leaf. So I want to, with yarn, close this section of my leaf and a little bit of the wooden dowel. We want to hide all this glue and these folds, just polish it a little bit. So I am grabbing yarn, a little bit of hot glue, dollop of glue, and gluing this yarn down. To make this process a little bit faster, I am putting a whole bunch of glue on this side of my leaf and on the opposite as well. And I am starting to wrap my leaf. A little bit more glue over here just to hold the yarn down better. I also like to stop with the yarn halfway or until it reaches the dowel. So now, as you can see, I didn't glue it all the way over here. So now it's going to be a lot easier to wrap around the dowel. And the same goes to the dowel. I am putting a glue on the dowel as much as you want, as long as you want, and start wrapping by moving my leaf until you reach the end of the glue. And here you have it, polished leaf. For my spiky leaf, I want it to be wider than longer. So I am working with a different measurement of paper. I am going for 16 inches long and 18 inches wide. Doing exactly the same thing, grabbing my pencil, starting from the very top corner and drawing a line to basically the corner at the bottom right there. The same process that we did with our first leaf, making folds. One more thing that can't happen to your leaves, I think it has to do with uneven folds. Maybe one fold goes to the left a little bit, one to the right, and things like that. So if you look at the bottom, you can see that the bottom is not straight. So what I like to do is I like to even everything out, just cut the bottom. And now it's nice and straight. Folds already stretching out and stretching out completely, because we need to draw a line. Grabbing our ruler, and we need to mark a spot where we want the spikes to end. So this might get a little bit confusing. It took me a little bit to figure this out. Even now I'm like unsure of what to do. So I will be going from here, from this one full fold, just like that, and all the way to the other fold. Make sure it's even and lightly mark. Need to be cut on the folds that go inside. So starting from the very middle, going in to that line, from line going out to the point right here. From here to the line, from line to the very top. When you reach the very end where you don't have a line, I just go by eyeing the cut. I just make a little snippet just to have a visual that it has a spike. Repeating exactly the same thing to the other side. Folding our leaf. Mixing a little bit here and there to make sure it lays nicely. Finding the middle of our leaf, putting in a dowel and gluing our folds together. To spice our leaves up, I got myself 3 colors of spray paint, and I want to try spray painting them. I'm gonna run a little bit ahead and tell you that I did a trial run, and I can tell you that it's better to use white paper for the leaves because the color will lay nicer and it will be brighter against white than brown paper. Let's take our 2 leaves outside and experiment. I am using this grape color, and with light layers I am starting to work all over the leaf. Not a good idea to spray paint anything, in my opinion, when it's cold and kind of humid outside. It's better to do when it's hot. Sun dries the paint super fast, so not the ideal conditions right now. Try not to make your leaf wet because it's gonna fold if you have some wind outside. It happened to me before. And wait until it dries a little bit, apply another coat if needed. Try to go from the top to cover all the folds up top and from the bottom to cover the folds from the bottom as well. I want to flip the leaf and color on the other side. This leaf I am using Candy Pink. Pink is not doing too good on this paper. It seems like it's absorbing into the paper and it's very, very patchy. So I'm not sure. I might take it into the garage, let it dry, and maybe try it again tomorrow. Put like a second layer or something to hide the paper completely. Day 2, you guys, I'm outside and I think I want to spray paint these leaves with the second coat. So this is how they look with just one coat of paint. This one looks really, really good. This purple one looks awesome as well, and this one very patchy. I will try to fix it. Again, we wait until they dry. This is how this light pink and other leaves look after they are dry. Definitely this light pink color is very patchy. It's not a good idea to spray paint anything when it's freezing cold outside, honestly. This is another one. It looks much, much better than the first one. And here's the last one, purple one. I think this one is the best one looking out of all 3. And this is how these leaves will look like in a random balloon setup. Obviously colors don't go together, but you can see my vision and my imagination. I think for the next setup, for the color palette that I'm planning for next week, I will leave these leaves in the natural brown paper color. I think it will be the best. Also, once these leaves are spray painted and they are dry, they are much, much heavier than an original paper leaves without any paint. By the way, this setup is more than 2 weeks old and it looks fabulous. It looks amazing. And this is all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful and inspiring. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, what you guys think about these types of videos mixing with my balloon setups. If you like it, please give this video a thumbs up and I will see you back next week.